start with a laugh from David Byrd. I know we're off to a good start. I was doing the Tootsie Pop Owl.
Yeah.
3, 2, Aladdin. Hi there. I'm Rob Briel from Corn Country 100.3. I host the Corn Morning Show along with Joanna Ryan, who did episodes 5 and 6, I believe, of this program, which we call Bird Brains. To my left is David Byrd, the younger brother. Jonathan Byrd II, or as I call him, JB2, is to my right. And Veritua. And two very special guests in place of Brian Clausen this time around. We'll get to Josh Harris and Casey McManus of y'all was on that fishing show, right? Right?
Pretty much. That's what we've been hearing all weekend.
Have you met Babe Winkleman?
Babe Winkleman.
Or I just love him. Or maybe Fishing with Red. It's Fishing with Red. But
Sounds like a segment all of its
But
own.
don't you dare mention that Bill Dance.
Did you guys bring Keith Coburn with you? We love him.
No, it turns out he couldn't make it this time.
And they're getting up to leaving the table now.
Yeah. Wait till you hear what the last question I asked you guys is. Deadliest Catch is the show, for those of you playing our home game.
The most popular reality show of all time.
And actually real reality. Not that
Real reality.
Yeah, not that Kardashian reign of
That's
terror.
like a triple entendre
Yes.
right there.
It's not that Kardashian reign of terror reality.
Actuality.
Oh,
Reality.
Do you have that hashtag trademarked? Anything?
That's just what we're labeled as.
I'll-
We're labeled as that.
Merchandise?
And then you got reality scripted, which is
All I know
pretty much
is-
everybody else.
All I know is Josh has got some pipes. You should,
Yeah, he does.
you should be on the radio, young man.
You're the second guy to say that on a radio in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And can we do celebrity doppelganger with these two real quick? Whom do they look like?
I don't know. What do you think?
Say
That's what I'm
K-Fed, I swear
trying to
God,
figure
I'm
out.
gonna slap you.
No. First of all, you're employed.
I don't know. I think Josh kind of looks like a Taliban guy of some sort.
Taliban.
I get
Marshmallow Man over here.
I get Kevin Busey a lot.
There it is. Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey,
Yes.
circa the Seagal Under Siege.
Yeah.
Tell me, have you not seen Ghostbusters lately? State Puff Marshmallow Man coming in, smiling.
He's also got a little Philip Seymour Hoffman happening.
I see that.
When Hoffman was slimmer. I mean, we're not talking when he was Stay Puffed, but I'm just trying to figure it out.
Wasn't Philip Seymour Hoffman played L. Ron Hubbard in that Scientology movie? Was that
He
him?
did.
Yeah.
He won an Oscar for playing Truman Capote.
Yes.
He played Scotty in Boogie Nights. Don't tell your mom I know about that movie.
Casey's got kind of a baby face thing going, I think.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Dare I ask how old you are, sir?
How old do you think I am?
Oh, no. No.
Yeah, we hear that.
I've known way too many women in my life to answer that question. If I were guessing just what I know of life experience and whatnot, I would say you're about my age. I'm 41. So we probably would have gone to high school together.
How old do I look to you?
Man.
This is good radio right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of miles on those tires, man. Being out at sea.
Don't let the ears fool you.
You get HBO with those things, man?
I hear NASA right now communicating with them. They need to refuel.
So were you able to hear what they said from the International Space Station today?
I'll backtrack. It is race day. We're at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Jonathan Byrd Racing Hospitality tent, and there was actually before the race a message from the International Space Station. Apparently, Josh is the one who heard it and relayed it to everyone.
I picked it up and let everybody know. They need to know this stuff.
See, I would go again, maybe 37, 38. Like you would have been a few years younger than I in high school, maybe.
No.
No?
We're both 32. We're a month apart.
Man, that's
Just babies.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of nautical miles. More on that in a
Tell me.
moment. So, but before I forget, because we didn't pimp all the stuff, David Byrd, in the last
What do we need to
episode.
pimp? I'll pimp whatever you want to pimp.
All of the Jonathan Byrd's racing stuff. Because we've had folks asking, okay, where do we find you on the interwebs,
okay.
social
The
media,
interwebs, yes.
social medias. I said that on purpose for you, Brent Lee.
All right, JonathanByrdsRacing.com, or Facebook.com/JonathanByrdsRacing, at Byrd Racing on Twitter, Byrd Racing on Instagram, ByrdRacingBlog.wordpress.com, and the Jonathan Byrds Racing YouTube channel.
Pinterest. Tinder?
And Byrd with a Y, right?
Just
Byrd
swipe,
with a
just
Y.
swipe right, buddy.
BYRD.
Just keep swiping right.
Grinder? We're equal opportunity.
We're just gonna swipe. Just keep
Grindr,
swiping right,
I
buddy.
didn't even know her.
Indy welcomes all. Grinder.
Grinder, I didn't even know her.
So, but attaboy chick. So after you give all of those different ways to catch up with people on the social media,
Yes.
what was it you said to our guest about being like Visa?
We're everywhere you want to be.
We're everywhere you want to be.
Thank you,
Red. I just needed an excuse to do the Morgan Freeman voice.
Andy Dufresne came in. I don't know.
I remember the day I met David Byrd. I didn't think much of him.
All right, let's focus.
Tossed me a pack of cigarettes. Sorry.
All right, let's
Hey,
focus.
I'm a man who knows how to get things on the radio.
That's
See what I
right.
did there.
We are Shawshanked all over the place
So,
here.
in our last episode, David, you mentioned kind of the parallels of the Byrd family and the Deadliest Catch family, if you will. Recap how those things fit together before we have Josh and Casey go into the story.
All right. Well, we're just trying to reel in some speed here, while they're trying to reel in some crab. So, basically,
Only catching crabs on the ocean. Not on land.
That's cool.
I recommend Baltimore
You got the best crabs?
for a couple of different reasons. You know, the motto in Virginia is Virginia is for lovers, Maryland is for crabs.
all right.
Two things. That
So-
means two things.
So, those who watch the show, Deadliest Catch, they know Josh and Casey from the Cornelia Marie, owners, captains. Really cool guys. Have been so fantastic to come in to spend their weekend with us. The Indy 500. They're going to talk more about it. But a few weeks ago, watching on Saturday, they just run the show over and over and over again. I was watching the Legend of the Cornelia Marie was the show that was on, and just telling Josh's story, and they fold Jake's story into that as well. And it's two brothers worked for their dad, most of their entire lives on the boat. Their father passed. He had a stroke on the boat. He eventually passed away. Those who know our father, our family story, our dad had a stroke. He eventually passed away from complications of that stroke. My brother and I worked for our dad, our entire lives. So just like Josh is trying to carry on the family business and his father's legacy, my brother and I trying to just carrying on the family business, and then with the IndyCar program, really part of our father's legacy. So when I watch the program, really feel a kinship with Josh. Pull for him big time. So just a few weeks ago, reached out to him through their website. Got a response, and I said, "Hey, you want to come to the Indy 500 as our guests?" And they were like, "Heck yeah, we'll do that." So we've had them just busy all over the place this weekend, coming out to Carb Day on Friday, and the concerts on Saturday, and going to Anderson Speedway last night, and the 500 today. They're going to Kokomo with us tonight, and just getting the whole Indianapolis 500 weekend experience. So
And going up to Jonathan Byrd's cafeteria. Don't leave that out.
went to Jonathan Byrd's.
Did
and
you eat your veggies? I'm saying that because Mama Jenny Bird's within earshot.
Yeah, sure. If she
Yeah, Don. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. No,
The green bean.
We also had the fried chicken.
Of course.
Incredible.
The green
Incredible
beans were
fried chicken.
fantastic,
Macaroni
right?
and cheese off the charts. I
Okay.
mean, it was killer. It was killer.
So when someone reaches out to you two lads, I want to start with the connection. What goes through your mind when you see this email? How does this work on your end?
One hell of a story. Let's go meet these guys.
All right.
Anytime anybody, if you have a parallel story like that, it actually went to our agent's email address, and he sifted through it and he goes, this might be worth looking into. I'll forward you guys this email. Check it out. Tell me what you think. And we looked at it and we said, well, we don't know the guy, but let's, he sounds like a sincere guy. Why don't you do some research on it, figure this thing out? And one thing led to another, and once we figured out, we're getting invited to come out here and be part of a racing team for 3.5-4 days, and now we know not only just a racing team, but a really, really good group of people. It was a pretty quick answer of, yeah, I'll leave the boat alone, I'll come down, we'll do that. It was, there wasn't. I didn't have to think about it a whole lot.
We run into irony so much on this program. I don't want a moment of it to be lost on it's the agent who decided someone wasn't full of shit. I'm just saying.
That's you're definitely making a point there because yeah. Exactly. And now that you guys have had a chance to meet and greet with Russ a little bit.
Where is he anyway? We lost him.
Oh, he bailed. It's hockey night, man. He ran back to the hotel to watch a hockey game
okay.
rather than go to a sprint car race and watch Clausen kick ass. Kick butt.
You're fine.
No, you're good.
This is a podcast.
Did he not hear me say full of shit a minute ago?
Oh, I figured you were allowed to screw up your show.
If the radio guy curses first, you're all good.
All right.
Just remember, my kids might listen to this.
All right.
I beg to differ. I've seen the radio guy curse, and I followed up with something else too, and it didn't work out that way.
It didn't go real well
But
for
the
him.
F-bomb and the C-bomb and all the other ones that go along with that probably went to.
Yeah, there won't be a see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Continue.
Anyway, but what were we talking about?
So the
I got caught on see you next Tuesday. That's
possibly
Start looking around the room. You're
possibly
like,
sincere.
yes. This whole show is a sidetrack. Don't worry. So the
Welcome to
agents.
my life.
squirrel.
Hi there. My name is Doug.
I'm sitting here trying to talk serious with you guys too, and all I'm watching is these girls that are very scantily dressed walking by behind you, and I'm just kind of getting sidetracked myself here.
So you're saying the scenery's been another one of the great reasons that you decided to come?
Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. At one point, even though I'm a huge race fan, I want to see cars go fast. I was kind of hoping for rain for probably not exactly reasons you want all your friends at church to know about.
Sorry, kids. So
Daddy, why did he say that? I don't know.
So
I wanted to wash the dirty stuff off the cars.
The track was dirty, and he wanted it to be a clean racetrack. There you go.
Dirty's the operative word. Josh, what goes through your mind when so the agent comes and says, I think we got something here. What do you think about this?
No, it's just I read the email myself, and I was real moved by the situation and the similarities, and their situation was, obviously strikingly similar. And it was really cool. I've never been to the Indy 500. I figured we'd come check it out, and then after being down here, made some new friends, and I got to see what this is all about, and it's a totally different lifestyle. I've been to a lot of NASCAR stuff, and this is way different. It's just amazing and totally different world. And the cars really go fast. The people are really wild and crazy, and it's just was one of the best experiences ever. I would have liked to see this place, but at the same time, this team has put themselves together pretty well, and they have a lot of backing by a lot of the fans, and that's huge. So a lot of people know about this team now.
So I know most popular reality show ever, but there may be a lot of people who don't know about Deadliest Catch and don't know about your story. What's the Reader's Digest version?
Well, my dad had his massive stroke. We're out in the middle of nowhere trying to get him back in and bust through ice. Couldn't get him in time, lost half his brain. And finally got him airlifted out. At this very current point in time, my brother was doing drugs, and so he did not show up to the hospital as supposed to when he flew in with my dad on a life flight jet. Couldn't get the surgeries done in time. They flew me in. I got to spend 14 days with my dad. And then after they fixed him up, everything was good. The day we were taking him home, suffered a pulmonary embolism while being put on the life flight jet. Didn't recover from that. So it just left me and my brother to do the family business. We were quite a bit in debt at that point in time after all the medical bills and everything, so we took a break for a couple of years. Brother kind of scampered off into the distance, left me to try to figure out how to pick up the pieces, and then came along Casey and his family, really helped out, and here we are today. We have one of the largest boats in the all Bering Sea of Alaska, catching crabs, like I said, only on the ocean, on land. And
we want to quell any other rumors.
Yeah, that's right. Trust me. And when never mind. But I can tell you one
Josh
thing.
figured out how to get rid of them without shampoo, though, because we don't always have the right stuff on the boat. He goes, I got this. I'm going to shave one half, light the other half on fire, and beat them with a bat when they come running out. Made sense to me.
Brilliant!
Someone's got him a MacGyver stuff.
Then Casey woke up and realized he had been lighting himself on fire in his sleep.
I've got an idea. Brilliant! So I'm going to ask this of Casey first because I feel a little more connection in the story with Josh and my own family without bringing too much of the heavy, as I call it. So I'll go to Casey first. You've got this guy who is under a mountain of debt, is likely still in deep grief over what is still a pretty sudden loss of his dad from a blood clot in his lung. I mean, they thought things were coming around, and then bam. He's saddled with a strung-out brother who is now run off to parts unknown. If somebody's looking at that on paper, if you're just a guy looking at that on paper, you're thinking, that's a tremendous risk. Why would I want to take on a partnership with somebody who's got that many red flags? So on paper, that's what it looks like. What's going through your mind and your heart as this happens?
Well, there's two parts of it. One of the parts being, in the Bible it says help thy brother, and I like to live my life the right way and try to do things the right direction. And Josh was just an acquaintance, but it's still, he's a fisherman. He's one of those brothers, and you got to try to help a guy. And I didn't realize it was going to go to the extent that it did at this point, but I was just trying to help him get off the ground, get him going, and then things kept changing, and now we are where we are, being partners. But the other part of it was, Phil and my dad knew each other pretty well, and let's see here, it was September before he passed. They were at Seattle Fisherman's Memorial, and the two boys were off raising hell like they usually do, and they were there though, and Phil looked my dad straight in the eye and said, "Hey Jim, would you do me a favor and just kind of take care of the boys?" And my dad goes, "Oh yeah, I'll go keep an eye on them. I can hang out for a little bit, And he goes, "No, I don't mean tonight." He goes, "Can you just take care of my boys?" Well, so next February Phil passes, and my dad goes, "God, Phil asked me to kind of take care of the boys, so if there's anything we can do for him." A couple other skippers came in there and ran the boat. My dad and Trident were able to get him some crab to catch to keep the boat operational, but things just weren't working out. And you really, in order to keep that boat going the way it was, you really had to have one solid core guy to run the operation and stay on the boat and really stick with it to keep it going. And Josh was doing so much other stuff at the time with the TV show and whatnot. It kind of fit that I could become that guy and get in there and get that boat running the way it should again. So it just kind of worked out, things have a way of working out sometimes.
You knew it was right, whether when you read it, it was right. All those things I listed at, you just kind of. So
I look at the red flags and I'm like, I can fix that. I can fix that. I can fix that. I can fix that. I mean, all my buddies call me the laxative because I make shit happen.
If that's not on a T-shirt, it should be tonight.
Ever. Merchandising, right? Isn't that where we're going with this, David? Merchandising.
That belongs on a shirt, and the shirt should be brown.
We're setting up a merchandise tent up here next year. I'm positive of it.
You're about to get the. You should. The show will be much more interesting if we don't have to look you in the eye when we say this stuff.
Yeah. The wisdom of Casey McManus.
Mom, run.
Well, yeah, run, don't walk. So I'll turn back to Josh now. Having just met you today, you certainly wouldn't be aware of. Mine was a growing up in that my father disappeared from my life suddenly. I've got a strung-out, addicted brother who has, on his best day, not been irresponsible, and I describe myself as the white sheep of my family.
White sheep.
I come from a flock of black sheep. I'm the white sheep of the family. So I can imagine that there's a part of you thinking, I just need a break. I just need a win. Is that what's going through your mind, or what's happening when you're in that situation that I outlined on paper for Casey?
Well, shit. That's I mean,
I sense a theme in this program.
It's kind of like there was one of those magical trap doors when you knock on someone's door and they hit the button on the other side and you just fall through.
And there's a rancor at the bottom, yeah.
And you're flailing and weird stuff. Yeah, that's how I felt. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't a challenge, it wouldn't have been fun. It wouldn't have been worth it. Yeah, and we overcame something that everyone told us we couldn't do. everyone said that there is no possible way you could bring another boat in the fishing industry after it was shut down for a couple years. Well, we did it, and we're still here. So, and the boat's in the best shape it's ever been, and we're taking this to a whole new level that not even my dad took it to. So, on paper, logistically, all the things that you would think would work usually don't end up working. So, to take something that everyone said was impossible and make it happen, well, here we are today, just like these guys. I'm sitting next to the Byrd family. They're doing the same exact thing and taking it to new heights. So,
David Byrd, I know where you're going to go.
Yeah,
so do it.
That's another thing that the similarity between us and their story is that we're just like they're doing things that their dad never even did or thought of. I mean, as great as he was, as well thought of and respected as he was in his industry and really around the world because of especially the program. They're doing things they've never done before. We're doing the same now. That's what we're doing too. I mean, there's areas of business that we're going into. We're stepping up our motorsports program to a place that we never have attempted before. Our dad never even thought of. So it's the more time we spend together and the more we just talk back and forth, the more we realize how much we have in common. And I really hope we can keep this going and really develop.
You really don't have much of a choice. This is your guys' fault. You created this monster. You got to deal with it.
You're stuck with it.
He's alive!
Ta-da!
It's going to be fun. I
just like with me, fellas, you're stuck with them.
It's a package deal.
It's been such an awesome weekend. It's been so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
And just the response these guys have gotten. Being out here just with the fans, and it's really people responded to them. They responded to us more because of them, and we really want to call attention, use that as a platform to call attention to people. Stroke affects when the family suffers a stroke, it affects everybody in the family. It's debilitating not just for the person that suffers it, but for all the people that are around it, because it can affect relatively healthy people. It can affect those who seem like they're more at risk. And you got to look. Health and wellness for our family has become so important, as because we have a lot that we need to do in this world and in this life and for people. So it's we just want people to learn the signs of a stroke, learn the risk factors. May is National Stroke Awareness Month.
The serendipity of that is not lost on me.
Right. So that's another way we're trying to do this. We put we did a thing this morning on Periscope on our Twitter. We got into the Periscoping thing, so we do the live feeds on Twitter. We put a Cornelia Marie sticker on the IndyCar. Josh put one on one side. Casey put one on the other. It's very cool. Hopefully people are kind of sensing the theme we're trying to generate here, and if we can do this, every year.
On an IndyCar, and do all the other guys in the fleet know that your boat is on an IndyCar, and everybody else is like, what?
They do now.
They do now, yeah. And they're all probably pissed. The closest thing we got to putting like our name on anything that was fast was Travis's speedboat.
Right.
I think that thing did like 100.
For a split second, I thought he was going to say Travis's girlfriend. I
No,
was really concerned.
that's something totally different we can't talk about on radio. I think there's laws around that.
That was the tattoo.
Never get someone's name tattooed. It's kiss of death. So
It was his pet goat.
Just like the stickers going on
That was bad.
IndyCar, no other crowd boat has that. This is kind of our business model, though. It's just, where everybody else is right now, we just want to make sure they're 2 steps behind us. That's it.
just in your wake is where you want them to be.
Yeah,
So
What was that movie with Dan Aykroyd?
that was the
Eat
Great
My Way,
Outdoors.
Suck My Way, Great Outdoors. Remember that thing? Suck My Way.
I will add that the Cornelia Marie sticker had Phil Harris' signature in
I like
the
that.
sticker, so
That was
it was a
pretty cool.
memorial as well. So
Nice.
just like the Jonathan Byrd's IndyCar, I mean, that is a memorial to our dad. It's a constant memorial. Our business is a memorial. So the Cornelia Marie sticker on the Jonathan Byrd's IndyCar was also a memorial to Phil Harris.
does that mean we have a Jonathan Byrd's racing sticker to put on the hull of the
Oh, yeah,
Cornelia
we
Marie?
will.
All right,
Better
then.
believe it.
There's a reciprocity that has to happen.
They said they wanted one of our crowd barriers with all the stuff on it. They said they won one of those, and they
And
said
some chicken.
we're gonna
And meatloaf.
we're gonna figure out a way to
Hey, you'll get 2 out of 3, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No, hey, that's a win in my book.
we're gonna put a sign in the wheelhouse of the Cornelia Marie. We're gonna figure out a way to send Jonathan Byrd's food to Alaska to feed the crew of the Cornelia Marie.
No, well, not just a little bit, though. We got to parcel it.
Jonathan Byrd's Catering, so you guys can serve that to your guests for their wedding.
If I start feeding you guys or my guys all your food, they won't be able to work. I mean,
They'll be useless. They'll be sitting on a recliner in the hotel like we were after it.
Stay with me on this. Here's one of the things that has to happen.
Okay.
You lads have to go to the Bering Sea to visit them shipboard, and you got to take the Jenny mascot with you. I want Jenny at the wheel of the Cornelia Marie.
Jenny overboard.
There's the hook.
It'd be interesting to see what happened if Jenny walked around town. Her head would probably take sail.
In the event of an
Average
emergency.
winds, 50 to 60 knots. That whole suit would turn into like a squirrel suit and just take off.
In the
She
event
would be orbiting Alaska.
Import and import only.
In the event of an emergency, the Jenny costume can be used as a flotation device.
Touche.
So,
It's got a built-in propeller inside of it, too.
is nice. Is this the normal time that you all are on land? What is the schedule like for you lads?
It's generally, if we start talking, we'll start with king crab because everybody loves king crab the most, right? So starts king crab October 15th, and usually we fish that for about a month and a half, if that. Then we roll straight into Byrd, and this year we're going to roll straight into Opies after that. We'll come home for 3 days for Christmas, turn around, fly right back up, and then we'll continue to fish Opies probably until March, mid-March, late March, maybe even into April, depending on how fishing is and how much crab we have to catch.
You'll be back here in May, right?
Yeah, and then we bail out for a little while, and then about June 9th, salmon tendering starts. And we go around to a bunch of little boats, and we buy a bunch of salmon from them. We put about 615,000 pounds of fish on the Cornelia, and then we'll turn around and run that into town and offload it. That goes until September, and then we get a month off or a month and a half off, sometimes 2, depending on how the salmon season was. And we'll do it all over again with king crab again.
So you've got 2 weeks before you put in again is what's happening.
Oh,
roughly.
not even that. I don't even know what the date is today, but it's race day.
Yeah, race.
24th, and you're leaving June 1st.
June 1st we're leaving, yeah.
grief.
So
Well, there. You can talk about you and Josh talk about your. You get the motorcycle ride coming up.
Yeah, we're doing a Captain Phil Harris Memorial Motorcycle Ride, and we're not just doing it for one particular charity. We started a 503c Phil Harris Foundation, and we're going to have the donations come to that, and then depending on all the different cities we go to, we're going to pick a charity at each city. And kind of do ones that really touch that area, because it's easy to broad form something and just say, all right, well, we're just going to go with this one particular thing that covers the whole United States. Well,
sure.
That doesn't necessarily touch the people in that community. And if they're the people joining us on the ride and helping us raise the funds, we want to benefit each city that we go to, each area that we go to.
So you're not going to go to Honolulu and do frostbite awareness, is what you're saying?
No. Last time we did that, it didn't work out so good. The following was really poor. So,
Casey ended up with a girlfriend after the deal was all said and done. It was a weird thing.
Married her 8 years later.
Wow. 8 years, boy. You were really on the spot with that one, weren't you?
Well, yeah, no. It was my anniversary last week.
Yeah.
And I was working on the boat, and I knew it, and I was coming home, and I thought about it, and I had taken her out to dinner the week before, but I still didn't come home with the stuff that I probably should have. So the next day I came home with more stuff than I probably should have. But I started to smooth her over a little bit, and thank God she's a good woman, because I'll tell you what, forgetting like I did, she probably should have kicked me to the curb.
Well, it's easy at sea to lose track of the days, he said as your court-appointed attorney.
It is. It is.
So what do you lads get to do, other than things like this, what do you get to do in your free time? Is there free time?
Anything and everything. I mean, generally I have a pretty good-sized honey-do list when I get home, with the house. My wife would be like, oh, I want this fixed, I want this painted, I want this done. Well, that all falls in your little off time. I spent a lot of time in Hawaii and doing great events like this. Josh and I both spend a lot of time doing this kind of stuff. Bring the boat home for shipyard. We work 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, except for Sunday. Take Sunday off. But, we stay so busy it's not even funny. Ride dirt bikes. Whatever you can do to get yourself in trouble, we do. Whatever you can do
That
to
sounds
have fun.
familiar, doesn't it, boys?
We've,
Spend time with the family.
Oh, yeah.
terrorized the city of Indianapolis, all from north, south, east, and west.
So I had David do shameless plugs at the beginning for all of the Jonathan Byrd's racing and the brands and whatnot. Do your shameless plugs, please. Where can folks find you on the Radio with Pictures? That's what I call television. Where can they find you on Radio with Pictures and the interwebs?
We got CorneliaMarie.com, Cornelia Marie on Facebook, Captain Casey McManus on Facebook, Josh Harris on Facebook. What's your Instagram?
Josh Harris CM.
Josh Harris CM on Instagram.
And, then the show
And
is on
hashtag
Tuesday nights.
sexy captains.
Nice.
And you can catch
I was the bass player for the Sexy Captains, actually.
Really?
David knew that one was coming.
The sexy captain. My dad was also in a band with Jack Nasty and King Kong, so I mean,
Nice.
yeah,
That's
right?
that's good stuff right there.
That's just weird.
He was a drummer, wasn't he, your dad? Yeah.
So now I feel as though I can't ask if you guys have crabs because we've already been through everything.
And maybe there's a TV show, perhaps?
Yeah, we're
on a network that
Oh,
maybe
that's
has
right.
like
DiscoveryChannel.com, at Deadliest Catch on Twitter. At,
Tuesdays at 9 o'clock.
yeah, Deadliest Catch is a Facebook page.
or
as
binge
well.
watch over the weekend because that's when they
Right,
tend
yeah.
to do that.
Well, you got,
that's
yeah,
how
you got,
that's how it
you have
happened with
a lot of
David.
That's how it
reruns, but
happened.
the fresh episodes are Tuesday at 9 Eastern Time.
Fresh, well played. I
love
like
it.
that. Well
I
played.
love it. Haven't missed one.
You know, and we found out, Casey told us, that you can actually, we're going to work on this for the Jonathan Byrd's Hospitality Restaurant Group. We can actually buy and serve to our clients crab that has been caught on the Cornelia Marie. So we can actually
That's-
put that on our menu and be
Brilliant.
like Cornelia Marie crab legs. And so we're going to be working on that.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
So cool.
That'll be Cornelia Marie specific crab. You know it's caught by us. We have a what they call a chain of custody system where you know where the fish or the crab was caught, what date, what region, where it was processed, where it was shipped and frozen and stored until it got down to you guys.
And
Everything
each
will be
crab's name. We call this one Krabby.
Little stew, Jim Bomb.
I'd like to work
Squeak.
something out with you guys with whole king crab though, because a lot of people never, you can get a big crab leg and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this thing's huge.
Yeah.
Wait till you see it whole. Nobody down here ever gets to see a whole king crab. And if you see a whole king crab in its glory cooked and ready to go, you can get them for a fairly reasonable price. They're not exactly cheap,
Sure.
but they are darn good eating. And the presentation.
Can you tell us the coordinates of the pot in which the crab was fished?
It does generally actually fish numbers they have to say, okay, well, all the crab in this tank were caught in a specific ADF&G, Alaska Department of Fish and Game zone.
All right. Well,
So
I was
we
going
do
to
have
make
to-
I was actually making a joke about that.
Okay,
but
hit it.
I was
No,
gonna,
no.
I was
Okay,
just
sorry.
going to say if you can't do that, we're out.
I'm sorry. I'm
We're
still.
on it,
I'm
right?
still.
Remember what I said? Wherever you are, we're always 2 steps ahead.
All right.
I'm still trying to. I'm still trying to unpucker from the chain of custody phrase. That means something completely different in my
Because he
family.
is the gentle lover.
I thought I was set up for a joke, and then
Hashtag
Casey,
callback.
Casey delivered on it.
Oh, that's a
Always,
That's what you call your all-time backfiring.
always 2 steps ahead.
We're gonna have to get some quotes in here from Talladega Nights since you guys were doing Caddyshack and everything. I mean, it is race day for.
It
God's
is
sake.
race day. Well, you dropped in and I want to go fast at some point. Somebody did.
I do say that one a lot.
I want to go. I want to go fast.
I want to go fast.
I want to go fast. If you ain't first, you last. And just
Just like today when I had to pee, it was like, oh, thank you, baby Jesus. Little baby Jesus.
Little
Golden
8-pound baby
fleece di-
Jesus.
Golden fleece diaper. And he's like, he was a man.
can we can we get Abby to just come through and do a Carly Bobby woo for us? The snap up in the air.
I can see Josh wearing like the t-shirt tux because the way they picture Jesus
Yeah.
in his t-shirt tux because he's formal but he's here to party.
Yeah, I'm formal.
In the front row,
here to
Leonard
party.
Skinner concert, singing lead vocals.
With a cougar in his car waiting for him. That escalated quickly. That really got out of hand.
There's
I'm
Anchorman.
gonna come after you like a spider monkey. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
You're gonna break us, ain't you?
That was class. That one was class.
Wow. I don't know where to go from this. I know we're over our usual time, but we've had so much fun. I have to say that being an idiot on the radio, I run into and in life, an idiot who happens to be on the radio. I get to run into a lot of famous people, whether they're famous for good reason or not, and whether the fame comes and goes. It is not often in those interactions that I get to meet good people. Unfortunately, it's too rare that I get to meet good people all the way down to their souls. So it's
I
been.
wouldn't know about going that far.
I was gonna say, well, once you get struck out.
Believe me, I'm gonna be at the cool kids table in hell, and I'll save you seats.
I'm driving the bus.
Right on. But it has been both a pleasure and a privilege to meet both of you lads. So Josh Harris, Casey McManus of Deadliest Catch. Hit the web address.
www.corneliumre.com.
Very good.
And Deadliest Catch.
Discovery
Channel.
Channel.
Facebook. Discovery Channel, 9 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Excellent.
Just Google sexy captains and it all comes out.
Hashtag sexy captains. Casey.
Actually, here's the. I got to tell you the story on that. So I first figured out how to do Instagram, right? And I still haven't really figured it out, but I was doing it. Well, I was flipping through my little comments at the bottom, and I see this hashtag sexy captain. We had one of the camera guys on the boat, and I was like, hey, check this out, hashtag sexy captain. You know, and he grabs my phone, and he looks at it, and he goes, dude, did you see where that came from? And I was like, no. Well, it turns out it was a gay pride kind of group. And he's like, that's not hashtag sexy captain, that's hashtag sexy captain. And I was like, oh, no.
Hey, port in any storm, buddy. Port in any storm.
I won't take it back. No.
Well, that's what you get for posting pictures of your Chinook all over the interweb. Casey McManus and Josh Harris from Deadliest Catch. David Byrd to my left. Jonathan Byrd II to my right, who's been conspicuously quiet. I think it's because his very own Carly Bobby is right there around his neck. Can you do a woo? There we go. Lady party. Awesome. I am Ron Briel from Corn Country 100.3. Another episode of Bird Brains in the book, and we are very, very sorry.
And there will always be part of us together in that car. There will always be a part of us together in that car.